for all of you. Thank you for showing up. This is not a long talk because I have to rewrite everything last night due to some circumstance. I'm gonna talk about wireless hotspot security. This talk is kind of collection of my findings on previous research. For example, like in March this year, we have the Bill cybersecurity in Jakarta, and at least 4 speakers, including me, found like 4 different kind of attacks against the hotel hotspot. And yeah, one of it finally screwed up the billing system, and lucky at the time because the system integrator is a friend of mine, so I have a hard time to explain him like, hey, we have a hacking conference, and what do you expect if hackers get bored? So, well, finally he understands it. And after that event, I start doing, well, focus on the wireless and hotspot security. By definition, hotspot is a specific geographic location in which is an access point provides public wireless broadband services to mobile visitors, and hotspots are located at like heavily populated places like airports, convention centers, coffee shop, even hotels, and so on. Then the motivation that we can find many hotspots in neighborhood, probably because the increase in the needs of the people, because they all want, like, it's like a trend toward being always on, always active, get internet connection all the time, and delivering a very high-speed data, like for internet messaging, email, transferring something else, including porn, to a wireless subscriber. As a fact, more companies now planning to launch more hotspots all over the world. For example, in Jakarta, like 3 or 4 months ago, I had a meeting with one big ISP. They plan to deploy at least like 400 hotspots all around Jakarta. Jakarta is really, actually it's a small town compared to KL. It's probably twice. It's not small. And that's about it. I'll tell you a secret. If you're trying to find a security consultant during the day, probably you cannot get him in the office, and you might find him in a neighborhood coffee shop consuming large dose of caffeine, and with laptop, with a wireless network access, and it's nice to people to watch him and catch up with news from the area. And well, some of it like doing review, technical articles, and doing some remote hacking sometimes. And well, enjoying the magic elixir thanks to wonderful Wi-Fi. So this is kind of nearly a diagrams for a wireless mesh network. As you can see, there's a network operating center that controls every places, like broadband connection. Usually there's a modem, subscriber gateway, small box, and there's lots of access points deployed. And currently, nearly all hotspot application is based on AO2.11 technologies, and this service is achieved as a short-range radio and selected building, or space connected with like connection terrestrial link like T1 or fiber optic. And this kind of setups you can find it in hotel, and combined with the wired technology also, like in the room using VDSL, receptionist, and access point for wireless in the lobby especially. And they usually have like database server, firewall, or a portal server, and billing. And as comments, how to use hotspot. First of all, get an access. Well, I can talk about getting access later on. Then you have to visit the hotspot with a wireless device, it's okay. Like a laptop or PDA, and associate and get a network configuration. Open your web browser, then get redirected to a login page, do something with authentication, then you get connected. To get an access, a bit tricky. Well, you can buy a prepaid card. I have a sample, I think. It's quite cheap, it's like this. It's prepaid, you can get it everywhere. Well, here is in Indonesia. It's provided by one of a big telco company for around 2.5 bucks. You can get 1 hour airtime. Then you can get access by registering to like a big company that operate a hotspot all around the world, like Boingo. And you have to use a credit card or use no pay later, like in this hotel, and they will charge you with an incredible price. I don't know, it's like 60 ringgit, this hotel. And if the operator is a telco company, they usually you can send a text message or SMS to a like 4-digit number and get the password for like 30 minutes or 60 minutes. And they will charge you like really like the same price, like this prepaid. And social engineering, you can get an access by tricking someone else. Maybe some of you attend like Anthony's talks yesterday. It's really funny. So like how he managed to get username and password by just making phone call, or just wearing tie and try to
Sorry. For wireless access in the hotel, the best way to get free internet is you just register. You say you accept to pay the 60 ringgit, and then after when you get the bill, when you check out, you say the internet was cut. I refuse to pay. Can I talk to the manager?
Oh, that's a cool trick. Thanks. I will do that. Thanks. And
I do it all the time.
you can do hacking like sniffing and brute forcing. Let's get into super cool stuff, hacking the hotspot. Well, motivation is like, well, some of you, including me, like getting bored, staying in a hotel or in coffee shop after finishing your report, and I still have a half full glass of coffee. And well, let's do something else. Let's find out. Or you want to do something bad, like delivering spam or doing hacking, because well, if you're using public access, you put yourself like kind of untraceable, because it's kind of hard for authority to find someone doing something bad using public service. Or you don't have money, or just lazy to pay, but need internet connection, and you'll do will hack for bandwidth thingy. Some critical points I found on the hotspots is like this for point like network configuration, authentication method, third-party interface, and misunderstanding. I will explain later on. First of all, is network configuration. IP address. If you are connected to a hotspot and get a public IP address, therefore you are vulnerable to internet attack. Well, the best you can do to prevent that is probably you set up personal firewall. And many hotspots nowadays using transparent SMTP feature, maybe. But the problem is we might questioning them. Is it real? They're not reading our stuff. And well, some of us know that some filtering software are vulnerable, so you can actually own that device or that engine, but just sending specific email. And virtual LAN. Not all hotspots using VLAN means that you can see the other clients just using Nmap or just need ARP requests. Therefore you can hack the other client, or if you're unlucky, you get hacked. The authentication method is related to web hacking kung fu. Some of you might attending a Shiratsa training or talk yesterday. Probably mentioned about SQL injection and cross-site scripting. I know it's kind of lame because this bug is already known for 2 or 3 years, and until today I still find many hotspots with this. You can actually attack with this kind of trick. And piggybacking, thanks to Jose Nasser yesterday, he reminds me about this term, and I made something cool demo first. SQL injection, oh, okay. This is something, it's not really clear. Yeah, just to make sure that I didn't write stuff, just copy and paste, login, file, can remote administration access. And try to figure out how the configuration. Take a look at it. Actually, the vendor is already informed, they already fixed it, but we don't have, especially me, I don't have the permission to mention the name yet. Still on time. Sorry? No, this is somewhere else. And as you can see, there's an encrypted password. It's cool, isn't it? Takes a while for me to figure out how to decrypt the password. Some guys, okay, that's a trick. Try to divide it by 4. You get ASCII character. This is an ASCII table. Try it. Just forget the percents by 4. That's it. That's about it. Or, well, this is XSS, cross-site scripting. You can actually use it for stealing someone else's cookies, or super cool stuff like this one. It's not really clear. Okay. Right. As you can see, I have no more cantik for my MAC address. Try to figure out, got an IP address, try to ping. I should ping Google, not Yahoo. Especially there's Marius here. No connection. Try to change my you can get someone else's MAC address with many different ways, like doing ARP, sniffing, whatever. Change it. It's pretty common. It's well-known technique. For macOS 10, actually you have to patch the kernel extension for airport. It can be tricky. I can show you later on after this talk, maybe, how to change the MAC address in static way. Try to reassociate or unplug the cable if you're using UTP. Plug in again. Well, actually, this morning I've tried to figure out how to rewrite all my stuff. Then I'm thinking about playing a video all in 45 minutes so I don't have slides. Just play the video and cool music, that's about it. Good connection, hooray. And next, third-party interfaces. You know, hotspot, the gateways usually integrated with another system. For example, payment management system.